Babakar, and the entire production team as well, and my colleagues, you know, who I do the program with. Really, it wouldn't have been possible. So it's not just about me, but QTV, I would say. It shows how much we're also committed to giving our audience new programs
intelligent conversation. I mean, you've had some really good guests, and you know, there are times when you've asked really difficult questions.
Indeed,
and that kind of has really sparked. I enjoyed the last one with Nancy and Lamin Fal. Really, really good. It's excellent stuff.
I think Hell is like, I love Hell so much. I'm not, sometimes I just don't like watching something from the beginning to the end, but it's something that I can watch from the beginning to the end.
I recognize like what Mr. Ade said. Sometimes you, I've had guests who I have personal relationships with on the program, but it doesn't show when I do the program. And sometimes it's difficult when you have to ask them very difficult questions. But then at the end of the day, it's about public interest, and you have to be professional as well. So,
you're doing so well.
Thank you.
It's going so well.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So moving on, we have the African proverb from that song. But anyway, Mr. Ade is like, that's my favorite song. So he has memories. So we had to bring it back. I have good
memories of that song.
He says wicked song.
Wicked song. So moving on, we have the African proverb. And so we have the newspaper review. Our guest is here, Ade Drami, already. And on Community Watch today, we'll be taking a look at an initiative called Catch Them Young. This is founded by Omar Cisse, who actually recruits young people, take them through spelling bee competitions, public speaking, debating, just, you know, making sure that these young people are, you know, accompanied when it comes to their talent at a very early age from the grassroots. So we'll be having the winner, Tida Barrow, of the public speaking category to take us through how, you know, beneficial this particular initiative has been to her.
I think such initiatives are very important. Myself, because you as well, I'm sure at some point in your life you must have benefited from such initiatives.
Debating really helps.
Well, I am here thanks to initiatives like this. So
it's a good thing. I'm a big champion of debating. As I've said many times, when people see me now and I tell them, oh, I used to be very, very shy, they think that can't be true. But it's a fact. A fact. And I'm thankful to one of my teachers at school in Sierra Leone, who one day I was walking by and my friends came running by and said, "You're on the debating team this Friday." I'm like, well, must be a mistake. They must be my older brother, because he was much more outgoing than I am. And they said, no, it says Darami A. He's Darami J. I'm like, well. So I went and saw the teacher, and he said, no, I put your name.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
So that was it.
I'm a champion debater too. Do you want to take me on?
Any day.
Any day? Okay, so are you going to moderate that?
I would happily do that.
Okay, all right. So moving on social issues. Yesterday, we introduced that we'll be taking a look at the story of the youngest Qadi in the Gambia. Unfortunately, he was unable to make it here. But hopefully today, with less traffic, he'll be able to make it here. He already called that he's not far. So hopefully, we'll have him soon.
And can I just say very quickly, not in relation to the Qadi necessarily, but anybody who's watching this, this studio is on Kairaba Avenue.
Q Cell.
It's not at Q City. It's not at Q City, so please, I hope you heard me there. The number of times we've been waiting for a guest, and then they tell me, I'm outside waiting for you. I'm like, no, you're not.
All the way to Q City.
And then, where are you? Oh, I'm at Q City. We are not at Q City. This is behind the QCell building on Kairaba Avenue. So just put that
So
out
it's
there.
QCell main building, Kairaba Avenue. QCell's headquarters.
Exactly.
On Kairaba Avenue, near LK School.
Around Westfield.
For
the fullest. Around Westfield.
Not Q City and Vigilo.
Please.
Yes, we've had a lot of that. I think it's good that we're clearing it. And on the click segment, we don't have click today. Skengman Sweezy would not join us, and I'm so sad because
have we given Skengman a day off or what?
He's sick. But the thing is, I wanted him here because he's always wearing designer outfits. I don't know if he's coming with Louis Vuitton or Zara or what.
Well, my guy, speedy recovery, man.
He's the man. Yeah, we wish him a speedy recovery, and we wish Balde speedy recovery.
As
our
well.
veteran journalist.
Veteran journalist.
He's not here today.
So what is our African proverb today?
So our proverb this morning reads, if you are filled with pride, then you will have no room for wisdom.
Okay. If you're filled with pride, then you will have no room for wisdom. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think it speaks for itself.
I think it really does. I mean, we saw an instance recently where they had the reconciliation between Imam Babali and Oya.
Yeah.
And the Imam said something. He said some of these people who are perpetrators probably think they're too big to come in front of the world and confess their misdeeds. He said, but they shouldn't. He said, because that's the only way we're going to. And this kind of proverb kind of speaks to that, that, you know, if you think you're too full of pride and so on, then you think you know everything and nobody knows everything.
For me, it just tells me how every day after reading the news, I come to you to mark register. That's how I call it.
She always says how many points out of 10?
Points out of 10. That's what I do every single time after reading the news. I want to know where I am. You know, sometimes after doing my shows, I go back to watch them to see areas where I feel like I need to improve. So for me, it's trying to improve every single time, and the fact that you have to accept that you're not 100%, like I say, out of 10, you're not 100%, and there's always that need to go further, to learn more, to be able to do more. But the moment you're stuck there, obviously people are going to come and they're going to pass you because they're ready to learn more. But for me too, I want to say, obviously things that you have to learn from an individual, that is coming from an individual, which is criticism, should be constructive.
It should be constructive.
Me, sometimes people say, oh, she doesn't listen, she doesn't take that. No. I choose. It's at my liberty to choose who I want to listen to based on the feedback that I get to have from that particular individual. One, because it's good for my mental health and things that I can accept. But things that I feel I can't accept, which might either affect my mental health, my self-esteem, my confidence, I'm not going to accept those things.
And I think people who are managers need to know the difference between and how you give. An Encyclopedia Britannica, like all the volumes, and we would take 10 pages at a time and try and read through those 10 pages and then hand it to one of them saying, ask me any word that's in there. And you know, and that was the kind of competition, and it spurred us on. So every day you learned something new about a new word or a new place and so on, and we've kind of kept that throughout our lives.
For me, I think criticism shouldn't be, you know, it should be constructive, unless one has an agenda, because it's meant to, you know, help you learn something new. I mean, help you get better at whatever you do. So it's important, and I think, I mean, anyone filled with pride, I don't think, if you have dreams, if you want to go further in life, I mean, you shouldn't be filled with pride. Otherwise, you have problems. I mean, you have to learn to humble yourself and be open to criticism as well. So
but humble.
What's wrong with that?
Yep, you have
Humility
to humble
is
yourself.
good.
No, but I just don't like, Mr. Ade, how young people growing up, how they're made to believe what humble means.
Yes,
I'm so sad about it.
There's a difference between humility and subversiveness and so on. And so effectively what they want is that, you know, young people should be seen and not heard. They shouldn't speak, they shouldn't have a voice, they shouldn't. And again, you know, I say this every time. My parents, from the minute I could speak, they wanted to hear what I had to say. They didn't impose stuff. They never caned us even. You know, and they always reasoned with us. And if we were punished at school, the first thing we did when we came home, they'd ask us, were they right to punish you? And if they were, we say yes, they were. We never lied to them. And if we thought no, I was punished unfairly, trust me, the next day they would be at school. Why did you punish my child? But if we got the caning because we did something bad, they were cool. They were cool with it, you know. And so
and that's how it should be.
That's how, but they taught us to challenge things and to challenge authority, which a lot of.
But Mr. Ade, to be honest, in the Gambia here, there's a different definition of being humble.
I've seen it.
You have to be humble. You have to be quiet. You have to accept everything.
That's wrong.
That's what being humble means here in Gambia.
Wrong. That's wrong. For anyone thinking like that, I'm telling you, that's wrong.
I had a friend here in the Gambia who you know, we were talking sometime last year or the year before. And he was saying that, you know, he'd gone to his father and told his father that he wanted to get married. He was 30 years old. And his father said, you're too young. I'll tell you when you're old enough to get married. I said, and you listened to him? I said, you must be mad. I said, you're 30 years old. What on earth do you mean by that?
That's unfair.
I mean, that's not fair. You know, I said, at what age did your father get married? He said, oh, 25. I said, oh, and he's telling you at 30 you're not ready? Come on. You know?
All right. So I think that is
It's a great proverb.
Yeah, it's a great proverb. If you're filled with pride, then you will have no room for wisdom. And to be honest, you gave a perfect example, which is the TRRC. You know, without an individual putting their pride aside, they won't be able to come on national television to accept you know, those things and get to reconcile with the next individual. So we'll now go for a short commercial break, and when we return, there will be no songs. We'll just head right on to the newspaper review. No interlude.
No interlude.
Just head right on to the newspaper review.
No
we'll be right back.
And by that time, we should have killed this fly.
Yeah.
Hadama dung la balu wala kono andu hadama dung ka fengo fengo dundi akono kono ayanda ke ku senawol ay ke kuti mi yalo ko ata hadama dung mantora madingul one stop water solutions limited ibe jande gambia banko kan andung ye filtarole natal me yalo ko isala jiol kende andi anu isa senen inatale pour ka ji kendo ji senawo natale gambia banko kan jio mi yalo ko atal mantora la andu jio diata ba one stop water solutions limited ye filtarole natal me yalo ko alse muna fangano la alla pompol isala jiol tenteng ya senen ndi coming alla fala nyame naketa pompoti bang aboholo fo nawek la pipe wala a filter sifa o sifa one stop solutions ya natale 10-inch filter set of 3 ya sotale filter mi yalo ko acidiota aya tenteng natara bankole ba kono fa kenyo wala kankan be bije sa be bon filter fana member ko 12-inch set of 3 filter mi yalo ko acidiota aya dada aya senendi mense beta alla jata kendato fana sotale CTO block carbon filter o fana mu filter mi yalo ko asi chemical o bonnino jiol kono le mense beta alla jata kenda filter mumbo ko CTO block carbon mensi jiola chemical be bondi akono pour kala jata kende sa hen nim filter sabol be kili wo clean na pansundoku ngawata tankol fanan sotali kabrim 500 5000 fokata 10000 liters plumbing fittings fanan be mol bulle alsimol tarano sukuta highway mariama kunda johnson wala isimol kubandi 505 5691 796 8272 one stop water limited solutions inatale ka jiko be.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. So let's not forget our sponsors. One Stop Water Solution for all of your water tanks, dispensers, and just anything you need to just purify your water. And also for all your IT solutions, for all your IT needs, ranging from Cisco certificate, diploma, you name it. Just head right on to Sorawo Camera Unified IT Institute for all of your IT needs. And the glasses though.
Yeah.
Opticalia.
You look,
yes, I love them.
You look
Thank
different.
You so much.
And we're all wearing glasses today.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely. So yes. Yeah. So now we're heading right on to the newspaper review. So what's on Foria there? So
on Foria, on the front page this morning, Speaker Denton says National Assembly has moved from one-party dominance as he bids farewell to members. 2 Senegalese nationals arrested with suitcases filled with prohibited drugs. Whoa. Trust Bank awards top 10 grade 9 students by order of merit. And you have history will remember us. Majority leader tells lawmakers as he bids farewell. Pura urges tanker truck operators to file in new inspection applications. And lawyer Mbuj to file no case to answer submission in Barra boat capsize case.
All right.
And on the back page as well, there are some interesting headlines.
Yeah.
In their weekly update, the Drug Law Enforcement Agency registers 13 drug cases involving 14 suspects. NAM says Nyamina West least privileged district. For the past 50 years, 36-year-old seeks overseas medical assistance. And you have TRRC recommends prosecution of former junta leaders for the torture of ex-PPP ministers and political opponents.
All right. So where should we start from? National Assembly?
Of course.
Speaker Denton.
Speaker Denton.
It's an interesting one. She says that we've moved on from one-party dominance. Yeah. I think the proof of the pudding is always in the eating, and so we've got National Assembly elections coming up. Yeah. If you looked at the presidential election and you use that as a barometer, then the president won 45 out of 53 constituencies. If that happens in the National Assembly, then we will have one-party dominance. But it's not always the case that those are replicated. Yeah. But I get what she's saying, that now there are competing parties. They're all quite strong. Because NPP, this will be their first test on a national level as, in terms of the people that they have chosen to be, National Assembly members. Rather, people aren't voting for a president on this occasion. They're voting for individuals as their National Assembly members. So it will be quite interesting. But Esso, I think you also had a view on that. I think you agreed with this.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I mean, if you look at our National Assembly, especially in our recent history, during the Jami era, we had this one-party, dominated assembly, and it went to a point where, you know, you can feel it every time, you know, there was a bill in Parliament that, you know, government was in support of. It's obvious that it was getting a pass. And I think this is important. It shows that we are growing as a democracy. And that is how it should be. Because the National Assembly, you look at the function that it has, really, it's a very important function. It has the oversight function over the executive arm of government, which I think for me is very, very important, without which, I mean, we have problems, serious problems.
It's very interesting you say that, because for a proper democracy to function, yes, one party can have the majority, but they should not dominate to the extent where everything they put in front of the National Assembly gets a rubber stamp. Yes, we agree. And
there has to be checks and balances. There has to be accountability, and you can't have that without the Parliament's, oversight. You know.
And talking about checks and balances, can I have that paper? I actually saw something very interesting on the same story that the speaker was talking about questions, increasing the number of questions that ministers are asked. Yes, she talks about that, and that's part of, according to her, some of the, I can't find it anymore.
Yeah, I think.
Here she said, Speaker Denton Further. Speaker Denton. Speaker Denton Further said, another significant pride for the 5th legislature is the purification of parliamentary questions, of not less than 150 oral questions to ministers for answers. And according to her, this is unprecedented in the history of the nation's parliamentary democracy as a legislative tool of holding government accountable.
Yes, because what you have here, and you know what is kind of replicated from the British system, is that you can have oral questions where the minister comes physically, or you can write to the minister, and then the minister's response is read in the Parliament. And so they might have 150, but there are probably another 400 that they answered in written form only. And so it's a good thing, because people now can dare to ask.
A few days ago, I heard the Banjul North parliamentarian on radio actually talking about this. And I think it's important. I mean, remember, they're all representing, different constituencies, and their development needs may vary as well. And for each of these NAMs, I understand before, they come to Parliament, they have to have meetings with their people, and they will tell them what they want them to ask some of these ministers. So if you're limited, really, it's difficult.
And the meetings you're talking about, in England, they call them a surgery. So everybody who is an MP has a weekend surgery, and that's why on Fridays, either they don't sit in Parliament or they go home early. And so they can everybody can go to all parts of the country, and you have a surgery where people from your constituency bring their local concerns and say, I want you to ask the Prime Minister this, or I want you to ask a minister this. And so that
But how often does a surgery happen here?
Well, that's what I do wonder. I do wonder.
Yes, so sometimes it happens when there are, emergencies, or when something happens that draws national attention. You would be called to Parliament, and then,
but I mean the surgery he's talking about, where they have to go back to their constituencies and
it
meet
should be
people.
Weekly.
Because to be honest, trust me, Mr. Ade, if this was happening regularly, some of these NAMs will reach out to the media for the media to actually show this, because this adds to their performance. But the moment we're not involved, one has to doubt.
Yes, we have a NAM there.
Most of these NAMs do have constituency committees that consist of representatives from all the various villages and communities within their constituencies. But I have known of only 2 NAMs who've made, who of course have had media coverage over some of these meetings they have. The one for All Indian constituency and Banjul North, because I attended 2 of the events, so at least I can speak for them.
So this is what I'm saying.
But I think it's something that should happen more regularly, because we have a NAM here talking about, Nyamina West, I think it is, saying that, it's the least developed over 50 years. Well, why is that? You're the National Assembly member. Have you raised these concerns in the House? Have you raised, these concerns about development or lack of development? That's what I would be asking him if he was my National Assembly member. Yeah,
he actually came into Parliament, I think, 2 years ago, after the death of the former NAM who was there.
I think we did the by-election, we covered.
And so he took over from him. And sadly, their term was ended. Yesterday was their last day.
So and they went on to quite late.
And it's like come next Parliament, we wouldn't be seeing familiar faces like that of Halifa Saleh.
Yesterday was his
so it was an emotional moment as well for some of them. But yeah, we look forward to the next Parliament.
Indeed, and it should be quite interesting because, for one thing, I keep saying I would like to see more women contesting for the parties. You know, they may not get elected, but it would be good to see the parties because
actually,
I think
sadly,
it's not diverse enough.
Sadly, some of the women who express interest in contesting, they were not selected by their parties.
Have already not been selected.
They don't get selected.
So it's for me. I mean, that is the saddest part. However, I think I would love to challenge some of them to run on an independent ticket. I know it's difficult. It's difficult because you have to have the resources.
And you're running against
really
a party machinery.
Exactly. So it's difficult, but I hope some of them would, and that they would succeed as well.
Hopefully. And also young people. You know, the president said when he was inaugurated, he said that he's working towards a youth-led future.
Yes,
that is what he said. He said it. So, well, the parliament can be also a reflection of a youth-led future.
I've seen some very vibrant young people as well who have expressed interest in running. I hope they pass the nomination, and I hope that some of them get elected. You know.
And for me, I think, you know, what we saw from the presidential election, I hope everybody who puts his or her name forward is a serious candidate. Because we had some who were most unserious, really, who had no business putting their names forward for the presidency. And I hope we don't get that with National Assembly members. We need able people who can deliver once they get elected, if they get elected.
Yeah, looking forward. So what other interesting headline do we have here? We have history will remember us. Majority leader tells lawmakers as he bids farewell.
Yeah, it's like I said.
Everyone, obviously, I was going to say the same thing if I was in that position.
You know what? For some of them, they're not coming back.
And
so
that's why.
And even though, you have some who've clearly said we're not running again. Some have expressed interest to run again. Would they get re-elected? You never know. So it's like I said, it's an emotional moment. Certainly, history would remember them. I mean, for representing their constituencies, for being in Parliament, overseeing Gambia's interests for 5 years. So I think he's right.
Yeah, and again, here we have Pura urges tanker truck operators to file in new inspection applications. The trucks, right?
Yeah, I mean, there used to be something called a vehicle back in immediately after independence in the Gambia. They used to have something called a senior vehicle examiner. I suspect the post doesn't exist anymore, which tells you a lot about how serious we are about things. But that post needs to be brought back. And they need to be, because really a lot of the vehicles on the road have no business being on the road. And some of them, I mean, I don't know why it is a lot of these big trucks drive at night with no lights, and it's like really dangerous, because sometimes you're almost upon them before you realize that they're coming towards you, and so vehicle examiners, their job would be to make sure if everything's not working on it, because if one of those is involved in an accident, it could be quite catastrophic.
And in fact, this one, in fact, is very, very important because these are trucks that would carry fuel. So you need to have them in good condition, and they have to meet all the requirements. Otherwise, I mean, like you said, if there is an accident, God forbid,
that will be really
serious.
bad. Really. So it's 10:30.
Already?
Already.
Must have been Eminado.
Eminado took up some of the time. All right. Thank you so much, Adedrami, for joining us on the newspaper review.
Pleasure as always.
All right, we'll go for a short break and we will be right back.
Buy your QCell credit using your QMoney account without any hassle. Cash in any amount starting from $10 and enjoy the amazing services QMoney has to offer. With QMoney, life is easy. Visit your nearest QMoney agent to cash in or call customer care on 133. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap after handling cash. QMoney, Sunyo Kalpe. We innovate, others follow.
this. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am Q Power. I am QCell. I am Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I'm here with my Jola man and Sumana Isonyasi.
It's not Alusi Mungla Yobuare.
Where Jola ngadi? Hanga ko mom jaran kala so man dumadi wambiram.
Suma domla so it's
wow, why man nyomi king.
Suma domla so cool.
Kings and queens. Man fofula joge nyomi. Okay?
Yeah.
So yesterday we introduced our social issue which has to do with taking a closer look at the story of the youngest Qadi in the Gambia. But unfortunately he was unable to make it here yesterday. But today he's right in front of you. Thank you so much, Alaji, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I would like to apologize to what has happened yesterday.
Totally. It's understandable.
Well, it's beyond you, so you understand that.
It happens, yeah. But thank you so much for making it here today.
Jay,
yes?
You know, I'm just seated here, looking at Alaji and how young he is, and I'm just wondering, I mean, what really inspired you to, you know, go into...
So before that...
Because, Jay, I know you are a very, you're a staunch youth advocate, and myself as well, but you look at our legal system.
Right.
Of course, there are young people in there, but you know, you have more of older people, and especially the area that Alaji has chosen.
Yes.
I mean, wow. For his age, remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, but that is why we have Alaji here today, because, you know, like I always say, television serves as a mentorship for a lot of young people. You know, the last time we had the female taxi driver, Fatou Sane, she talked about the fact that she had to watch GRTS to see another Hadi that was a driver at the time. That person inspired her to be able to drive. And then on a daily basis, we see as a television station how we're able to just inspire a change on a daily basis in different communities. I don't want to spill my tea, by the way. Yes, I don't want to spill the tea.
And I hope you don't.
I won't.
Otherwise, they would come for us.
I will not spill it. But, you know, yeah, we just want to see more young people come forward to be able to inspire other people. But before we engage Alaji here, we'll go for a short break. And when we come back, we will delve into the conversation when it comes to the story of the youngest Qadi in the Gambia. Quite inspirational. We'll be right back.
Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
To build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
With ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow. The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate.
Buy your QCell credit using your QMoney account without any hassle. Cash in any amount starting from $10 and enjoy the amazing services QMoney has to offer. With QMoney, life is easy. Visit your nearest QMoney agent to cash in or call customer care on 133. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap after handling cash. QMoney, Sunyu Kalpe. We innovate, others follow.
I am the light goddess. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am Q-Power. I am QCell. I am Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, Browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using Quick Pay on the QMoney platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with QMoney by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. QMoney, Sunyu Kalbe.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. And on social issues today, we are joined by the youngest Qadi in the Gambia. Thank you so much. We apologize for that long break, but we are back, Eso.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying before the break that you look at Omar, you look at how young he is. It's remarkable, really.
And you asked a question.
Yes, I was asking, because I was just wondering, why would someone as young as he is, really, want to go into settling or overseeing marriages? It's mostly about that.
Yeah,
you know?
because it's the norm that it's all the people.
You know, so yeah, I mean, what inspired you and how is it like for you?
Thank you, Eso Nyasi and Sumana Eso Nyasi. I think human beings, you should have mission and vision.
Yeah.
Mission and vision. When I was going to school, Islamic school, Islamic school of Al-Hajj Bandin Drami, when I was in grade 10, our Arabic teacher, he's a Qadi. He's a Qadi.
Right.
So sometimes he talk about this Qadi's issue. So one day I raised my hand, I told him, Ustaz, I want to be a Qadi. Laji, you want to be a Qadi? Yes, of course, I want to be a Qadi. He told me, okay, if you graduate, there are scholarships come from Sudan, so I will inform you. So one day, I graduated 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
So you went to Arabic school?
Yeah, I went to Arabic school. I have never been to English school to learn English, to study English language.
Amazing.
Yes,
Okay.
I have never been to English school.
Great.
So after my graduation, he called me. He told me, Alaji, the scholarship came from Sudan at Munazama Dawah Islamiyah. Are you still interested? I told him, yes, of course. I'm still interested. So I went there and I took the form, I filled the form. So, okay, I joined the exams.
You had to go through an exam?
Yes, you have to go an exam. So, thank God, I crossed the exams. And if you sit on the exam, they will return all the papers to Sudan. The Sudanese will mark it.
Oh, right.
So, and bring it back, send your name to Munazama Dawah Islamiyah. Okay.
It's a rigorous process.
All right, so I'll just interrupt you there, Alaji. So yes, I think this conversation is going to be so interesting and so inspiring that we're having just small interruptions here and there.
Yeah.
But we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll get back to the conversation. We'll be right back.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
adama bu ne yelloo na ndox mu set te ndox mu set dafa bokk ci dunni doomu aadama te biir kat amul seetu waral na lépp lu fay dugg dafa war a doon li nga xamante ne ni lu indil doomu aadama bi loraange ci wàllu wérugu yaram One Stop Water Solution Limited ñu ngi fii ci biir réew taxaw temm fexe pour gis ne doomu aadama bu ne di nga naan ndox moo xamante ne ni ndox mu sell te wóor la ndax indil nañ leen ay xeetu filtres yi nga xamante ne ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew moo xam booxool ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawek yi ne bépp xeetu filtre bi nga xamante ne ni dina la indil wér gu yaram musal la ci
Welcome back. I'll apologize again for that brief interruption. But like I said, because this conversation is about to be so interesting, we're having some interruptions here and there, but we will not allow it to stop us. We're going ahead. We're going ahead. And so you had a question.
Yes. So I think he was talking about the fact that he had to go through, a certain process, exams, and then you have the markings done in Sudan.
Yeah, for sure.
Results sent back to you. Yes, so take it from there again.
Yeah, when they send the result back through Munazam Dawah Islami, my ustaz, I was traveling to Bansang. When I reached at Soma Garage, that was 2011. I had a phone call. So he told me, Alaji, how did you write your name? I told him, Alaji Moro Swani. He told me, congratulations, Alaji.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I was in the car. I stepped down. I did a sujood to thank Allah Subhanahu wa Taala who gave me that opportunity. Yes. Things was very difficult for me to travel to Sudan, to get an air ticket to travel to Sudan. It was very difficult.
You had to do that
on your own. So it was very difficult. So I talked to a lot of people, but it was very difficult to get support.
Okay.
So when I was sitting thinking about air ticket. So I called one of my sisters. She's the daughter of the former vice president, Lawyer Hussein Dabo.
Okay.
Yeah, I told her I got a scholarship to travel to Sudan, but I don't have ticket. Can you talk to your husband, please, to help me? Her husband is in America.
Okay.
She told me, Alaji, my husband is not working, but my father is here. Your father is here. Can you bring the admission letter to him? And it's written in English, not in Arabic.
Okay.
So when I went to him, and I gave it to him, so he just told me, Monday, you can come to my office. So I went to his office, so he gave me $15,000. Yeah, so I keep that money, and I communicate to one of my cousin brother also. Yeah, and he gave me, I think...
Must have been a long journey for you to actually gather all of that money.
Yeah.
And fast track, you were able to go to Sudan.
Sudan,
Okay.
Yes, of course.
All right.
So, and my cousin brother also helped me. I think he gave me, €400.
Amazing.
So, I say Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
So, I went to Alhaji Bandin Drame to inform him. I got a scholarship. I am traveling to Sudan, so he also gave me €100.
Okay, so thank you to all of these people who actually, tried to fund this particular trip, and fast track, you made it to Sudan. So tell us how the studies was. What does it take to be able to study to become a Qadi? Considering you're the youngest.
Also, how many years did you spend in Sudan?
Yeah, the story was very difficult.
Okay.
Because of it was in my mind, if I reach to Sudan, so every month they will give me something.
Okay.
So when I reached there, I asked one of my friends, I told them, I asked them about, I heard that if you start study here, they will give you every month $50. They told me no. That is the fake news.
Wow.
So I say, how can I survive
in a foreign land where you don't know anybody?
So and the faculty I choose, it is very difficult. It is the faculty of Sharia and law. So it's combined studies.
Right.
You should do Sharia and law. So some people discouraged me. As a Gambian, they told me, Alhaji, this faculty is very difficult for you to cross the exams. And if you fail 3 subjects, you will repeat the whole year, the full year, you repeat it.
Wow.
But you were determined.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So after, how many years did you spend in
Sudan? I complete my BSc 2016. And the same month, the same year, by the grace of Allah, I got master's degree to forward my study.
In the same institution?
In the same institution.
They gave you not a scholarship?
Yeah, they gave me another scholarship, but it was very difficult for me because of, if the institution gives you a scholarship, you should work with them. So that will make things very difficult for me. So what I decided to come back to the Gambia.
Okay.
So I decided that, but Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I thank God. One of the great men called Dr. Karmo Sonko, he helps the student a lot.
I know
Dr. Karmo Sonko.
Okay.
So we have a conversation in the phone. So he told me, Alhaji, what you want to do now? I told him, I am preparing myself to go back to home. He told me, for what? I told him, I complete my BSc and I should go back home. He told me, Alhaji, what about if you do your master's degree? I told him, I don't have somebody who will help me to pay my master's degree for me. He told me just, okay, I will do some for you. But the rest, let us leave it for the Allah.
To decide.
Yeah. So, and he paid the first term for me.
Right.
But you were able to go have your master's.
Alhamdulillah, today you are a PhD holder.
Yeah.
So just tell us, what does it take to study this? What does it take from an individual, putting aside the difficulties when it comes to financial difficulties, which we all go through sometimes, which is hard. But what else does it take from an individual to be able to study, to become a Qadi?
To become a Qadi, okay. You know, as a Gambian, and the majority of the Muslims are 95% or 90%. And the constitution of the Gambia, 1997 constitution, section 137, established the Qadi court to adjudicate the marriage and divorce and inheritance.
Right.
So, and in that particular issue, I think we should have the people who are specialists. Who are specialists. There was a time, a lot of Qadis, they are not specialists. If you study Arabic language, they will employ you as a Qadi because you know something about the religion and you study Islam. And if you are an Arabic student, you study education, you can be a Qadi. You can be a Qadi. But if you go to the countries which are very developed, so they will if for you to be a Qadi, you should be a specialist. You should be a specialist. And thank God, I will thank Qadi Umar Seka. When he joined the Qadi system, he changed. He should any person who's supposed to be a Qadi, you should graduate from the Faculty of Sharia and Law or Faculty of Sharia. So you can be a, you have to be a specialist.
So prior to that, we used to have individuals who were in specialists?
Yeah, specialists,
And what did that cause? What did that lead to?
Yeah, that you should specialize in Sharia and law together, or you be a Sharia specialist, so you can be a.
But you mentioned that prior to having specialists, they weren't specialists. So what are the challenges if there are non-specialists in the Qadi courts, people who are not specialists? What can that do to the system?
Somebody who is not a specialist, it will be very difficult for him to take a correct procedure. It will be very difficult. But a specialist can take a correct procedure So your judgment, it will be a fantastic judgment, and it will be a very correct judgment.
Okay.
Yes.
So you know what I want to know, Jay? How is it like having to, adjudicate over cases where you have maybe older people, be it inheritance or marital issues, being young, as young as you are?
Yeah.
How is it like?
Yeah, Eso, thank you so much. I think as a young person, you have to be very humble.
Okay.
Yeah, because you are dealing with the elders. You are dealing with the elders. You should be very humble. What the Olaf says is, watch as a boba, and you should know the job systems. You should know that because of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or the Sahabas, Umar bin Khattab, he appoint a young people to be a Qadi, but he advised them how they will tackle the issues or the matters. So if you are dealing with the elders, you should know that you are dealing with the elders people.
Okay,
for me, in my court,
I think it is important that we take this part to the local language.
Yes.
Because that's important. And so gis nañ fi ne comme Gambia fii sax da nga gis ñu jotee ci seen néegi sëy or inheritance am bug duñ dem ci court bi.
Yeah.
Understand nga Gambian bi dafa ragal court.
Wow.
yeah, for sure.
Understand nga?
Yes, of course.
So yow lan nga mun a wax ci loolu noonu comme bu dee yaa ngi comfortable ci olof bi.
waaw
yow lan nga ci mun a wax ci ñi nga xamante ne dañ dee ragal ñu seen néegi sëy am na problème waaye dañoo fi ne yóbbu ko court loolu daganu daal am na ñu foog loolu.
Yeah, Jenaba, thank you so much. Ci li nga jëlee topic bi.
Waaw.
ñu transfer ko ci wolof am na solo.
waaw
xam nga nit yu bëri dañ dee yaakaar ne Qadi court soo fa demee rek léegi yow tas nga yaakaar si society bi no Qadi court it's just like a mosque.
okay.
xam nga suñu jotee suñu amee problème it's concerned about the religions fu ñuy dem mooy si imams yi so those Qadis they are just like imams in our society.
Okay.
In our society so da ngay gis ne nga am problème bi nga xam ne it's inheritance nga dem si Qadi court bi moo gën nga dem si imam si o nga dem si keneen te xam nga wala dara li nga xam ne is a secret nekkut ne inheritance ñëpp ko mun déedéet nekkut de any imam mun na inheritance déedéet inheritance boobu tamit leneen na it's a specialist so da ngay gis nit yu bëri jàng nañ arab jàng nañ islam waaye if you come to inheritance to distribute loolu daf dee nekk seen problème te sometimes imam yi dañ dee rus ne man munuma ko te moom léegi xam-xamam bi fu mu toolu fu mu em noonu na koy doxale te du noonu yeah so yaakaar naa place bi nga xam ne pour nga mun a am sax aaka kenn du tooñ kenn mooy Qadi court.
ba pare Alaaji am na jëy fi mu laal te foog naa am na solo trop mooy ne da ngaa gis ne ñu bëri tey dañuy ragal pour dem si Qadi bi. boo dañ dee foog ne soo fa demee rek yow tas nga mbokk yaxa nga yëpp. waaye li xew mooy tamit foog naa it's good tam nga emphasize the fact ne Qadi bi duut rek pour tas sëy wala da ngeen di defar tamit foofu sëy.
yes of course yes
not takasa waaye da ngeen di defar
yes of course
gis jëkkër ak jabar yu jotee.
yes of course sa lii bi am na solo. wax dëgg yàlla nit yu bëri soo waxee Qadi court am na ñu nga xam ne dañ ko doon tuddee si soose futu bandula fu ndee jeexalee sëy place tas sëy du noonu Qadi court daf dee taka sëy daf dee taka foofu te Qadi court nekkut seen ene ku nekk ñëw si court bi rek sa sëy bi tas Qadi court it's just like a hospital nit dafa feebar ñëw si court bi mun ko faj yow da nga am problème da nga gis ne problème boobu court bi rek moo ko mën a faj xam nga nit su fa feebaree fan lay dem si lopitaan bi si hospital bi la dee dem mun a am foofu garab mun a am foofu advice from the medical doctor so Qadi court noonu na mene nit ñi lañ ko foogee du noonu te Qadi court bi liggéey bu mu def si dëkk bi war nañ sant ay Qadis yi nga xam ne ñoo fi jiitu woon ci ginnaaw since Qadi court dafa am si dëkk bi since 1905 or 1906 diggante boobu ak tey 114 years or 15 years Qadi code bi mu ngi doon dox waaye nit yi xamuñu lu bëri li nga xam ne mu ngi dox si Qadi code bi so am na solo so issue boo am rek li nga xam ne mu ngi aju ci wàllu Qadi code bi inheritance marital issue nga dem si code bi te code bi tamit daf dee advice nekkul ne su fekkee ne sëy la nekkul du ko soo demee dañ dee tas ñoom dañ dee advice dañ dee joxe advice te dañ dee au seen famille tamit ay yeneen saay góor bi sa famille ak jigéen bi sa famille ngeen toog à ses family level ngeen defar sëy bi yes
yow yaa ngi nekk xale te képp koo xamante ne Qadi la muy aate si yooni islam si Gambia yaa ko gën a nekk xale tey soo xoolee loolu lan la miin si yow ak tamit lan ngay wax xale yi nga xam ne ñoo nekk di seetaan tey because yow da nga gis mag nga xool ko bugg a mel ni moom loolu dugal la si tey nga yàlla dimbali la ba nga àggat foo àgga tey lan ngay wax xale yoo xam ne ñoo nekk di seetaan ba pare yow nga xam ne yaa ngi nekk tey ndaw tey képp koo xam ne Qadi la muy aate si yooni islam Gambia yow yaa ko gën a nekk xale lan la miin si yow tamit
Ansoumana jërëjëf xam nga dugga si Qadi code bi sax neexul am na ñu bëri man lu ma jànga loolu lañ jànga waaye dugga si système bi dañ dee ragal parce que am na ñu bëri ñi nga xam attekat nag yow amuloo jaama man mun naa génne fii nii kenn nit attaque ma xaañ ma gaañ ma yaa ngi understand so da ngay gis ne mag ñi dafa am lu bëri lu ñu def te war nañ apprécier loolu waaye country bi réew mi ñoo ko moom yóbbu ko si kanam ñu ñoo ko war a yóbbu si kanam so da ngay gis ne mag ñu bëri dañ nekkoon ci système bi waaye procédure bi xamuñu ko ñoom seen xam-xam bi fu mu toolo noonu la nekkee woon di dogal rek noonu la nekkoon di dogal waaye ñoom dafa am lu bëri lu ñu def si nga xam ne jëf ju baax la si dëkk bi ak si Qadi code système bi ok soo ñëwee man dama gis ne doomi Gambien la te fii si Qadi code bi ñu ngi soxla ay ndaw ñu ngi soxla ay xale yaa ngi understand so loolu nag pour mu dugg si biir sa bopp bi foog nga xool fu sori nekkul ne fi nga nekk foofu ngay xool waaye foog nga xool fu sori change système bi lu muy doxee foog nga change ko te yow miy nekk xale yow yaa war a jànga góorgóorlu change système bi so da nga gis ne léegi nii Qadi code si système bi ki nga xam ne moo nekk responsable di xool Qadis moom su gisee xale daf dee kontaan daf dee wax ne ñun yow ak sa morom mi lañu soxloo parce que ñun dañu màgget ñun mënuñu toog liggéey lu bëri li nga xam ne mu ngi si aju si mbiri Qadi code waaye su fekkee am nañ ay xale yi nga xam ne seen xel mu ngeen neex mun nañ def lu bëri loolu dina jàppale système bi si boppam
waaw léegi Alaaji ma bëgg nga dugg si soose tuuti si li ma lay ñëw laaj mooy ne gis nañ fi ñaari jigéen ñi nga xam ne tam Qadi lañ ma bëgg a xam loolu ban njëriñ la am parce que dañ dee wax ne jigéen bu nekkee place moom xam na lu moromi jigéenam di dunda waxuma sax mu rule against anybody waaye dinañ mun a understand si issues of gender based violence ak yooyu noonu yi nga xam ne ñooy happen si kër yi soo ma bëgg a xam rek yow loolu naka nga ko dundee ne am nañ fi ñaari Qadi yi nga xam ne ay jigéen lañ gis nag ñëpp di leen congratulate everyone is happy.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Afani mani ka kamal.
Abarka banke jenaba. Qadi musolta ke nati nan Qadi code. Mediam kang muslime yalla. Qadi code belori muslime yalla ka. So je lonal man kambenje. Nyawatin kono nyin Qadi musufulol mul be congratulate kan but mul be i doya kam fanan ka ko Qadi man muso man ne kala Qadi wosiyata bakel mol be itendu kan ke jay ke congratulate yes another mol be jele mi another groups wali yajel ka amanye ne kel so if you come to the female Qadi's issue wala nyinti ko lonal man kambang sotoji lonal dol ko anyanta kala dol ko amanye na kala
eko kambe man keje
yes
but wo for society la jero lembang for dino la jero sa en kadi yamu wala mbe diam la dino la jero ko ante fon la jero ngana ngo fo nga society la jero fanam fo I think it is very important ka nyum kusa bolia ke sik nyobal so ni ndata dino la jero to we have Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, Ahmad, Hanbali so mo saba tot of schools sababu je wolko amanye na kala wolko because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ay kede da nyama ay muso ama muso da nyama ni nata mir wala kar wala e manke kilinti
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fanan kabra ba kilariya mol kila amang musuki. You understand? So woto ni ay tandi ko muso kewnin kew tema futu woto muso manyana ko nyin diamu. Because of kila sallallahu alaihi wasallam ko ni muso ni kafo kafi muso tamini la ko nyato ite ganyela. O mu kila sallallahu alaihi wasallam ko makawti. Okay. So yena ye model soto mi alan ko atemu Abu Hanifa ko ako muso si keno karite bari atiya dendi ku kilin damma wala nyinti ko marché kono ku like marché kono muso le katara siyarinji ngalo nyame so ni muso joteta marché nyin kono muso si keno isi muso to monnore ayo kiti yo nyintey so itel sembe wala ko Umar bin Khattab ay anene muso to monne mi kay ka fa shifa aya ke kaditi min be dending na fulo la karola muso ni joteta marché kono ku wala muso jo problem yes just that yeah okay. So say ngata Ibn Hazm imam ka fa Ibn Hazm mazhab zahiriya Ibn Hazm woko hani ako muso si keno kaditi kew ye fem keno muso sa keno ata mam fatam fanson natije ata fana mu alfalte mi alon ko muslime alfala mati ngala miro nyin horma ngabunya comme ko alfala mati ay dogo ko muslime yakon Ibn Hazm ko ako muso si keno kaditi wasonta wala okay sa ni ata Gambia la kado sa ngaji be Gambia ngani mil be fo telbe jumal la silo kan Imam Malik wa condemn le akata keno la muso yi si akadiyamu kewni muso te ma futu ko akata keno because
it's not supposed to happen.
Yeah he condemn it so okay sa ni ente alaje nyininka sa alaje te nyin kuma kan be fo ite ni jumalo mba fo ente ni majority lo muso manyene kela kaditi but saying ngana kuma kan do fana yafu ni jenaba yafu ko ansma yafu alaji bayte kuma kan fulal fo jandi sa obe kenon nyaadi ka Fatima Sow ani Mariama Jata ka will appoint as a female Qadi
right
mbe wotole yes
you're with them
Yes.
Okay Fatima Sow ani Mariama Jata nkaranta university min karanta world the same university Sudan okay. The same faculty so ngamin karang yewala karang okay science judicial commission service wolle sembo so ka jojo Qadis appoint jojo coming tel recommendation di president la ka jojo appoint okay sai nyimusu fulol wali sharia la karang ya sharia long ni balanta iko mtel manta kala manta dunnaje so ibayel ko sai mimbe judicial commission service wala nyinti ko idente alaji sonta mansong the female Qadis will come they will appoint them ntaku knowledge so they will go to Gambia University UTG Middle Islamic study and they are female
so now Alaji I want to understand what is your stance are you just with them because that is what the system says but as an individual do you think as appointing women as Qadis do you think they would do well as to addressing issues between husbands and inheritance and all of that considering that there's a school of thought that is saying it is not right so what is your take
they can't
okay that's your take
yes
justify please
they can't yeah okay futu wala karo ni ajibe amu kangolati amu alfayalati muso buka keno afon la alfati muso buka comme last jenaba ite di muso bebul yana san afama mantaraje jenaba comme ni mo lafte ite di muso nyinina nana te ya akoy ko jenaba lafte di muso ne ita fa ko okay sa en sontale mbafal imam ay futu wositi wota keno la isi min kan wala to ke bafal ko sa en badanga diam afama nyoli yana san o badanga diam ala broda solier yana san so atakeno la at all is that clear
okay so saying I love the men for understand na ñu la appointment e ko ya support le but iba support kan ne because albeta school clean
yes of course
or iba support kan ne because ya feel ko la ñenta kala
exactly
okay nga support le comme ko ngamin karang ye wala karang yana san nitel man dunje ibe modol le kele je mil yalan ko imang fello muslime ya
so yemiro so ko ya nole iba kala nole
ngam miro mi sote la karola wala nyinti ko abe koliyala bake pour ya keno. But as far as ebe system kono, tumando ba to nte fen kiti le mi alanko mala mine be kirinya. But abe kolyala bake ntenga ming experience. Kadi ko system o katanya because of nyem fana lonko to deal with the marital issue. It's very difficult than to deal with criminal and civil.
Wow.
Kolyata bake because of sa ite kadi yam mo fulal tema. Jena bana kema kano be tema mi alanka sembo warta bake. Jena ba ko akema ko just mbe example otaka ala kana o sotande jena ala kana probablement na ene kema tema so kewdol bije ka muso kanu bakal fa kala na tambi so ikaje la ko kewye muso e kew samba ko lafta yan kan odina kew ka flam bang ntakala nti kan odile le binte kan odile soma so how will you tackle that?
But do you think that is a justification? I'm just asking to understand. Do you think that is a proper justification in relation to saying they should not be Qadis? I was expecting that you base it on something else, you know, basing it on something else apart from the fact that it is difficult to arrange. What other thing is there that you feel that women will not be able to handle in the Qadi court, putting aside the justification that you just gave? What else is there that this particular women will not be able to break?
Yeah, I think what...
for example, because he said...
Yeah, I think what he's saying is, what Alaji is trying to say is, in as much as he supports it, he believes they can do it because they have the qualifications. Right. But if you look at it religiously, and we know the Qadi system works based on Islamic
jurisprudence.
Yeah, jurisprudence.
Yes.
And so based on that, if you're following
those principles,
they can't be.
Yes, that I understand. But he gave another example to say, putting that aside, he said that it is difficult. It might be difficult considering the love involved and all of that. But what other thing is a barrier as well? I just want to understand.
Okay. Jeni hajibe ala muso da nyama man ke da nyama.
Okay.
Wala balafati. Muso e balafa soto bakel.
Okay.
Yeah. Flanjango muso la ala miro manka ko kewla miroti. Okay. Sabanjango kadi ko system be nyamen ibuka base no mokil na kuma kaunka foy ni lonnal be la kuma kaunta ye tenten yalan jumalan kuma kawte min sembo warta yo fintinde so muso ama pour ay lowa kam bak aka kolya bakele so ko Gambia society be nyame a society ni kolyata bakele. Yeah, did you understand what I
Yes. Sure. So let's go back to him as the youngest Qadi. You know, what are some of the changes that you want to see in the system? You already talked about the fact that there are older people, you younger ones are coming, but I know there's something specific. You talked about specialization, let's put that aside. But what else do you think that needs to be changed, you know, to ensure it is smooth and things just go on? I'm sure there are a lot of innovative ideas.
Yes, of course. Mimbe asiata because of science. Problem mbe Gambia mimbe den football karola asiata bakele amanki domandinti and handsine futo nyoma flol mbuka nyo understand no bunkono. So saying itale long kan bekele minati wala minti ko folo Gambia jang nyenta ka institution soto mi yalo ngaka mol train football karola.
Like counseling?
Yes, counseling.
Okay, counseling.
Yes, counseling.
Marriage
counseling. I enter total because of kabine futu bang siata Malaysia yawaleke mo fula boka futu fu alieta marital counseling and 6 months
like
training PG.
Wow.
Like
6 months training. So both of you can have your certificate.
Amazing.
Yes, of course, in Malaysia.
Okay.
So that is a development.
So you want to introduce that in
Yes,
Gambia?
of course. Yes, because of sometimes you confuse if you're in Qadi court. Mojo lakana lafta futu bana. Futu manyana bana wanyama. So ikaje lako sometimes you move lol mamoso to mimbe advice la bunkono.
It's like these are petty issues that could be easily resolved.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Nyim kundi aka solve no bunkono al damasa bari comme imalong. Nta malong. Jeneba malong. So mbitaka wanyama le. So na meta nka pasi nyomale. So ikaje le ko so nyanta karamus le mi yalanko aben karandira aben be karanda eso karandi ay jina be karandi al nyenta ka balunya dal nyenta ka sinya sometimes e ka yele ko mon ka futu bam problem so just phone issue hello kewe ya mus ke kan moy ala musol telephone kono o muso e ke kan moy akema telephone kono wala problem onati so the mall ma solve no yes futu
I think this for me I think is important because before you know you would have I mean, we live with our parents.
Yeah.
Of course,
they get married.
Yes.
And their marriages last like forever.
So
yes, of course.
But nowadays you have people getting divorced like it's all over the place.
Okay.
I think this would help reduce that.
Do you know what caused that?
Yeah.
We don't have advisors.
Okay.
Yalong what itambita no coming nining ila musobe ifama la suokono. Niko be kudo kala muso ifama ka foi hai atu.
Yeah.
So ikatule. But you and your wife, you are in the same room, small room, and you have an issue, you don't have advisors, so that can make the things big.
You were trying to say that it's good for couple to stay with family.
Yes, of course.
Right.
I support that 100%. Because sometimes, come dinding for long. Mambe macho. Jenaba mu dinnew nte mu dinnew so mbe juso be mbulo kono jenaba kulude dam nte man kuluje ita kulude dam jenaba man kuluje so mbe botanan dilalto ala yang kafundi yana san so e bayele ko nin damol be stere mbonyin kono nin problem sota nin ke babiji abe mbesi na fanyo ko hani alko nyim migra manyana kala ita bota janala jenaba bota janala bot ndeta fonol ko nte bi nyama nte daji ko be nyam be jenaba kala wala nyama so way futu banjama bal nati way futu banjama bala jenama kuluta famale ya nte kuluta famale ya so futu wole en kafundi you understand so the marriage make us couples yeah so ni wonata so nyental kan jinyoy nyental kan munya nyoy so eso problem do fanam bije kewol fanan kamera ko muso da marki nyanta ke munya so that's a big mistake kewol la karola
we place everything on the
no ital nata futu wole tebe munya la no
so you're saying that the man should also bear
yes of course daf ko wara muñ parce que yow lolu sax si yonent bi la jege yonent sallallahu alayhi wasallam mu ne jigéen ci góor lañ ko jëlee so yow lolu war nga ko understand so waaye su fekkee ne yow nekkuloo muñ kat so it will be very difficult seen say boobu mun a continuer yeah loolu dina jafe yeah so da ngay gis ne Gambia dañu war a am an institution to counsel or ñu am téléprogramme mi nga xam ne dafa war a def counseling wane nit yi sëy bi nii la war a demee nii la war a demee waaye léegi nii xale amuñ jot boobu da ngay gis ne jëkkër ak jabar ñu ngi si biir néeg bi képp ku ne mu ngi si téléphone képp ku ne mu ngi si téléphone yaa ngi understand so loolu tamit nekk na ci li nga xam ne tamit daf tey indi problème si néegu sëy bi yéen ñaar dafa am time bi nga xam ne da ngeen war a nekk ci téléphone dafa am time bi nga xam ne da ngeen war a nekk together ngeen waxtaan ngeen xool dafa nekk problème seen diggante naka ngeen di solve problème mbiri xale yi naka ngeen koy waxtaane waaye léegi amuñ jot boobu so loolu tamit indi na ay problème yu bëri si diggante.
ba pare man léegi dama gis ne nit yi suñ dee sëy gis naa few people di ko def ma bëgg a laajte sëy bi dama dee gis jigéen bay góor bi yëpp dem si jaaka bi pour ñu mun a suñoo eeda fekk ñoom ñaari dañ faa toog ñu eeda leen ñoom ñaari yëpp gis naa fi loolu xaw ma nag ndax. it's something accepted wala traditional
ñun si Qadi code bi loolu la ñuy def.
ok ñoom ñaari ñu toog
su fekkee ne ñun dañ dee takka sëy bi. ñun ñaar ñëpp yéen fa war a nekk yéen fa war a teewoo.
ok
dina waay. xam nga sëy suñ ko tàkkee dañ dee jox advice. yaa ngi dégg. so advice boobu ñoom ñaar ñëpp a war a déggal loolu. waaye ñun si suñ tradition bi mooy takka bi góor dafa dee nekka jigéen dafa dee nekka. am na ñoo xam ne wax ne sax dem si sa takka bi loolu warta am nangam nanguwut ko xamala na waaye nekkul ci islam nag. nekkul ci islam déedéet nekkul islam parce que advice bi ñu dee jox.
waaw
advice boobu dafa war a deliver ci jëkkër ji
advice bu important la nekk waaye most sa xarit yi lañ ko dee wax
waaw waaye man gis naa loolu mu ngi change dama gis naa sëy yoo xam ne gis naa jigéen bi gis naa góor bi mu ngi toog ñu wax ci seen noppay ñoom ñaari te mu ngi change ndanka so moo tax ma bëggoon a use this opportunity pour xam ndax islam lan la
ci Qadi code bi loolu la ne def foog yéen ñaar yëpp teew so da ngay gis sometimes Qadi code bi da ngay gis ñaar ñu bëggante waaye famille bi nanguwuñu papa bi nanguwut déedéet du ma la may suma doom mu bañ kan so sometimes da ngay gis ne papa bi dafa am reason li nga xam ne lu tax mayut diw doomam waaye sometimes da ngay gis papa yi nga baal ma si kàddu bi some parents they are very arrogant dañ dee gis seen boppa xamuñu seen diggante ak seen doom yi diw xamu naka lañ koy waxee tëggakat la nangam la lii la du ma la ko may so da ngay gis ñaar ñooñu dañ buggante so yow su loolu amee su fekkee dem nañ si Qadi code bi balaa muy takka sëy bi daf dee oo papa ji xam lu tax moom nangu la takka sëy bi su fekkee ne wax na dara is reasonable Qadi code du dee takka sëy bi waaye su fekkee ne papa ji waxul dara is just reasonable daf dee takka sëy bi parce que yow loolu yaa ngi dimbale islam parce que ñaar ñoolu soo mayante wut ñoom mun nañ def dara li nga xam ne neexut yàlla and they are humans doomi aadama rek la nekkut malaayka nekkut jinne nekkut leneen doomi aadama rek la ñaar ñu la solol mayentewul mun nañ am dara mun naa dox seen diggante li nga xam ne neexut yàlla neexut society bi neexut community bi yow doo si mun dara
very true this has been an interesting conversation
jàng naa lu
bëri man tam parce que te moom am na jabar so bu boobaa masha Allah man maa amagut
ñaata nga am
benn jabar
waaw nga am ñeent foo
waay lu tax
waaye sama jabar mu ngay seetaan nag
waaye gaa ñu ne ñun we have lines into carry 4
yes of course
so insurance bi dañ ko war a mutal
waaye waxal tamit si luñ wax si ku am foo naka la war a doxale
da nga war a maandu
ku am foo naka la war a doxale
waaw da nga war a maandu rek
waaw maandu bi mooy naka nga war a doxale
waaye na nga jub rek
waaw
na nga jub
as ni góor
waaw moo jafe nag waaye jub jafe na waaye da nga war a jub financially nga jub ni ngay jëfante ak ñoom waaye nag leneen mi nag moom dafa xaw a métti tuuti mbëggeel bi nag loolu nag daf day nekk
soo mbëggeel bi mënut a am
waaw loolu des na ñoom ñeenti jigéen ñi naka leen di defalante ak seen jëkkër ji waaw si foofu la nekk waaw am na jabar bi nga xam ne su fekkee nekk na sa cousin moom du dee faale dara
waaw
lu ko neex la lay wax lu ko neex la lay def doo si mun dara waaye am na ki nga xam ne kooku soo ko indee dina la respect def la lu ne di la oo nijaay something like that kooku nag
man dama tëj programme bi fu mu nekk nii man this morning bi laa tëj understand eso dégguloo ma de nga this morning bi tëj
bii daf la ëpp yow doo understand yow bàyyi noonu rek
nga this morning bi tëj na close
but I mean this is beautiful foog naa ab jëy man personally foog naa lii daf ñu war a gën a ñaax ñu ndaw yi waaw na ko xool ku mel ni alaaji mu ngi nekk ndaw nekk si fiil boo xam ne ay mag rek lañ fa daan gën a séentu foog naa lu am solo la te ñu ngi koo ñaanal yàlla gën koo jàppale di ñaax tam yeneen ndaw yi nga xamante ne bëgg nañoo nekk Qadi you know
te dama am lu ma bëgg a wax it's very important soo nekkee ndaw xam nga lii am na li nga xam ne lépp si doomu aadama yàlla moo ko dee maye man dama sant yàlla dem study ñëw am na ñi nga xam ne ba ma nekkoon high school dañ ma jàngale waaye léegi maa ngi jàngale ñooñu at the university ñu ma jàngale parce que benn bés suma benn ustaas ndeysaan ñoom ñi ngi woon si exams maa leen di supervise mu ne ma mu xool ma mu ne ma I supervise you and today you are supervising me
waaw
anyway thank you so much Alhaji for coming mashallah thank you so much I've personally learned a lot xam naa ne su ma sëyee suma jëkkër mu ne ma ooye ko Alhaji so man su ma sëyee Alhaji laay wax man yooyu laay wax
am na ci solo
waaw yaa ma wax
am na ci solo
nga ne suma man ma wax naka Alhaji waaw mbaa nag dee dégg Alhaji yow
kan man yow gisuloo suma doom bébi la ma de ooye xam nga yow gis nga loolu
kon yaay bi bébi lay wax
te am na lu balaa ngeen tëj programme bi
waaw
soo nekkee ndaw yow yàlla may la lii da nga war a wàccee sa bopp si biir mag ñi am na si solo waaye ñun ñu bëri nag su la yàlla mayee li dem ba PhD level is the last level soo ñëwee si jànga bi PhD is the last level waaye yow dugg nga si système bi fekkee ñi nga xam ne yàlla mayut leen loolu bul yëkkati sa boppa man lii laa am amut em ak ñoom liggéey ak ñoom soo gisee soo defee loolu da ngay am expérience si ñoom ndax leen liggéey ak ñoom ngeen dankan
thank you so much Alhaji for coming Ansumana Soñasi this has been amazing man fi mu nekk nii si Alhaji rek lay doxee yow nga ne sa doom bang laa ooyee bébi kon bébi boobu jaaxal na ma fu mu origine
fu mu ko jëlee de
man fu mu ko jëlee jaaxal na ma thank you so much Alhaji for coming we appreciate you this has been an amazing one so we will close the program dama ne woon ne foofu lañ ko tëjee sax waaye fi mu nekk nii ñu ne xaaral rek ñu def nii so till we come your way tomorrow with another exciting program.
Thank you so much.
hadamadin ila nyantolum preji kendomi annun ji senengo adabe hadamadun la baluwole kon annun hadamadun ka fengo fen dundi akono kono ayanda ke ku senawol ay ke kuti mi yalo ko ata hadamadun mantora madingul one stop water solutions limited ibi janne gambia banko kan andun ye filtarole natal me yalo ko isala jiol kende andi anu isa senen inatale pour ka ji kendo ji senawo natale gambia banko kan jio mi yalo ko atal mantora la annun jio diata ba one stop water solutions limited ye filtarole natal me yalo ko alse munafanga la alla pompol isala jiol tenteng ya senendi coming alla fala nyame naketa pompoti bang abo holo fo nawek la pipe wala a filter sifa o sifa one stop solutions ya natale 10-inch filter set of 3 ya sotale filter mi yalo ko acidiota aya tenteng natara bankole ba kono fa kenyo wala kankan be bije isa be bon filter fana member ko 12-inch set of 3 filter mi yalo ko acidiota aya dada aya senendi mense beta alla jata kendaro fana sotale CTO block carbon filter o fana mu filter mi yalo ko asi chemical o bonnino jiol kono le mense beta alla jata kendaya filter mi mboko CTO block carbon mense jiola chemical o be bondi akono pour ka alla jata kendaya sa hen nim filter sabol be kili wo kili na pansun doku na wata tankol fana sotale kabirim 500 5000 fokata 10000 liters plumbing fittings fana be mol bulle alsemol tarano sukuta highway mariama kunda johnson wala isimol kumandi 505 5691 796 8272 one stop water limited solutions inatale ka jiko be sonende gambia banko